welcome to the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic.
And you're...
And we want to punch Jim Cornette in the face repeatedly until he bleeds because he's stupid.
Hot tag! Hot tag!
Hot tag, okay, I got you. I got you, I'm coming in hot. You know, I'm gonna hit that Big E spear.
We'll see you on the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.
What is going on, everybody? This is Pro Wrestling's Week in Review, the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast Weekend Review Show. We don't know what we're calling it yet, so we're just throwing out every name we've ever named it. The Weekend Clothing Promo, the whatever other name we've thought of. So there's not really much going on with wrestling this week, I guess. It's really kind of a slow week. We just got some breaking news not too long, not like just now. So I guess we should get right into the news and rumors portion of the show. So one thing is EY and Roode apparently have been released from TNA. I think they asked for their release. This just came out like moments ago. I just happened to see it. I think it came out maybe a day ago. So there's not a lot of details about it. But I guess we could talk about how it affects TNA a little bit. Well, these are two champions right now, so that's a thing. Like currently in where we are, like in the television show right now. So, you know, you got that with EY being the King of the Mountain champion, and that means that Bram will be alone again. So what'll happen with him? And then you got Roode, who just got back with James Storm to, you know, kind of redo Beer Money again. They're the tag team champions, so what's going to happen with that? Like, we obviously expect them to lose at some point. I'm thinking maybe even the Decay maybe might take them off of them. Maybe they'll put them over, and that'll be a good thing for the Decay as their first title run. But because the Wolves don't really need to win it from them, they've done pretty much everything they can do right now. But also we got the WrestleMania kickoff show on USA. That's kind of a cool thing because there's really, you know, this is the first time this has happened that they put it on cable. So that's a nice thing. I think that could help for some last minute buys for the show, because they do a 2-minute pre-show, 2-hour pre-show before the show. So, you know, I actually saw throughout the week that people were like complaining. They were like, oh, like somebody posted something and it was like WrestleMania is set to be 7 hours long. And somebody was like, oh my God, 7 hours. I'm like, quit overreacting. You got a 2-hour pre-show, a 4-hour show, and a 1-hour post show. So quit crying. So I don't know why people don't get that. Like, it's like that every single year. But any thoughts on those two things, EY and Roode, or the WrestleMania pre-show?
First of all, EY and Roode. I mean, they kind of, at least for EY, they really weren't doing much with him. It feels like they had him with Bram. They had the King of Mountain title on him, but they weren't doing anything with it. I mean, we saw one King of the Mountain title match in a couple months. They haven't done anything with the title like we thought they were going to.
There's been two.
Yeah, but only two. Like, I don't know. But this kind of, I mean, it's good for them if they feel like they weren't being used or if they were ready to leave. That's fine. I'm not, gonna hold anybody to, staying if you're not happy. But at the same time, it kind of keeps it, leaves two tag team partners out to dry. And I guess, we always complain that TNA isn't live every week, but this kind of helps them out, that they are pre-recorded. So they have time, to actually work it out. It's not just like they quit this today or ask for their release, and now, TNA has to, hustle to figure out what they're going to do. They have the time to kind of, work out whatever they were going to do. But but it's still, there's a lot of questions around it. Why did they ask for the release exactly? What are they going to do? They did just reform Beer Money, so it's like, how are you gonna break up Beer Money so soon after you got them back together? After that, is James Storm still going to stay with TNA? I saw an interview with him after he went back to TNA saying, they just gave him better money to support his family. That's why he left NXT. Is he going to still stay in TNA? What are they going to do with him? What are they going to do with Bram? There's just a lot more questions now, kind of regarding TNA, and in a time where a lot of people already are, complaining about TNA, but it feels like everyone always complains about TNA. So, I mean, they could, sign the best talent in the world and people would still complain about TNA somehow. As for the pre-show on USA, I still personally think they should eliminate these pre-shows and just bring back Sunday Night Heat. It's basically the same thing. It's on cable. People can, watch it, actually have matches and still have information about the pay-per-view, get some of the guys that aren't, necessarily on Raw every week or on the pay-per-view a chance to wrestle. That's what I really liked about Sunday Night Heat, is even when I didn't have money before, it was on the network, even before I had money to, buy pay-per-views, I could still watch Sunday Night Heat and kind of, get at least be able to watch wrestling on a pay-per-view night. But I don't see the point of the pre-shows as they have them now. There's all this analysis and stats and stuff, and it's professional wrestling. It's a show. I don't need stats on a show. Like, no, it's set up too much. Like, they're thinking they're Sports Center or something, and I'm like, this is professional wrestling. It's a show. Like, I don't know. I honestly just think they should bring back. It doesn't have to be necessarily Sunday Night Heat, but something like that. Every Sunday, and then have a special one before pay-per-views.
Alrighty, so I think the next thing that we'll get into is the weekly shows. It's been kind of a busy week for both of us, and Raw and SmackDown we had no way of really watching those. So I think what we're gonna do, instead of going through all of the shows and kind of giving a big moment, we're just gonna go through what was our favorite show of the week and kind of why. I'll let you start, Casey. That you've watched, even if you watched Ring of Honor this week, or New Japan, or some kind of random Chikara show.
Chikara is not random; it's awesome. I'm gonna have to go with Ring of Honor this week. They had a tag team gauntlet for, I think it was the #1 contendership for the tag team titles, which was really cool because you had 7 tag teams, so all these guys got a chance to, wrestle. It was a gauntlet match, which you don't see much anymore. Definitely something I feel like WWE could do for a show, to, show off some tag teams, build up some tag teams. It was just a really good show. If you have a chance to go watch it, definitely watch it. I think the Young Bucks won it, if I remember correctly. But it was definitely just a good show. It much like the NXT with Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn, it was one match, but it was a gauntlet match. So, and they said in the beginning they were only having one match tonight, so you knew. But it was just a really good, fun match to watch.
Alrighty. I think my show of the week, I guess. And I'm kind of a sheltered child right now, because I haven't really watched much of anything. I've watched a ton of retro WrestleManias, um, and NXT and TNA this week. I haven't really been able to watch much of anything, as far as current wrestling is concerned. So I haven't watched Lucha. I haven't watched Ring of Honor. So I think my show of the week would be TNA. I definitely enjoyed it. Drew Galloway winning was a even knowing it beforehand, because I seen it beforehand. It was still a fun moment. It was still nice to see that he finally got, is finally getting his chance. And watching a lot of the younger talent kind of get their chances, and I guess we're gonna see some more younger talent get some chances with Roode and EY gone now. Um, you know, I, I just thought it was a good show. Just overall, the matches were really good. The segments were really good. It was just a good, nice, complete show. Um, Alrighty. So next, I guess we have the kind of it's a new thing we're gonna introduce to the show, because I just think it's a nice thing, and kind of get social media involved a little bit. So as I kind of go through my Facebook feed, because I'm in a lot of wrestling groups, I'm about to leave most of them. Um, I, I see a lot of different debates, a lot of different memes about things that kind of debate about, who, this and that and this and that and this and that, just different things all the time. So I kind of have a, I kind of have. I'm gonna put the image up, and every week we'll have something that I found or Casey found if he finds some kind of cool debate to talk about. But this week we got Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan. Kind of who, I guess who was more, who means more to wrestling, I guess you could say, more than anything. I hope you guys can see the picture. Um, this is not the didn't have the text on it. Doesn't have text on it. For some reason, I'll put it in the overlay. But let me read the question real quick. It says who was more important to wrestling, Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan? I already have my decision, so I'm gonna let Casey go first, and then we'll see. We'll see if we disagree.
Honestly, for wrestling, legitimately, and this isn't, this isn't he's the popular one, so go against him. This is just, from what I think in ring, from what I've heard from backstage politics and shit. I haven't heard as much from Ric Flair, so I'm gonna say Ric Flair because, for one, I honestly think he's a better in-ring wrestler than Hulk Hogan ever was, and I haven't heard as much. I'm sure there was, backstage politics. I don't want to lose to this guy. I don't want to do this or that. But Ric Flair wants to put young talent over. Ric Flair likes putting young talent over. I've heard many guys that he wanted to either, put over or maybe start to manage. So in that, respect, those two things, he's definitely better for the business. A lot of people are going to say, but Hulk Hogan is, he's the Michael Jordan of professional wrestling, blah, 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 but after all of the backstage politics I've heard about, he refused to put this guy over, or he refused to do this, or all the times where he, politicked his way to, get back in the title picture or win the title, even in WrestleMania 4, he managed to be in the spotlight when Macho Man won the title. And there was a lot of just backstage rumors and stories that, floating around. Some of them obviously were probably not true, but a lot of them I'm pretty sure are. I just think, I hate to throw out the word overrated, but I think he is. To me, I think he is. I think Ric Flair definitely has done more for the business.
Alrighty. I'm glad you said Ric Flair, because I'm gonna say Hulk Hogan. and not because I'm like in love with Hulk Hogan, because I should hate Hulk Hogan, right? Like I should be really mad at him, you know. He doesn't, you know, he obviously is not a huge fan of black people, so I should be upset at Hulk Hogan. You know, I should be picking Ric Flair in a landslide, but I'm not. I'm thinking Hulk Hogan simply because what brings me to Hulk Hogan is the NWO. Um, and I'm thinking because I know you were thinking. I feel like you were thinking wrestling is more of a sport, but I'm thinking as wrestling is not only a sport, but it kind of an sports entertainment type of a whatever we call it now. Um, as far as Hogan is concerned, I feel like Hogan's done more on both ends. He's done more on kind of drawing in new fans, drawing in those kind of drawing in more than just the casual fan, more than just the fan that watches all the time. He drew in a lot more fans just with the NWO. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't just him. I get it, but when he made the turn, it really like solidified that group as a solid unit. Because I think without Hogan, they probably would have been big, but they wouldn't have been as big as they were. And Ric Flair, I think he did great things to wrestling. You know, when he was kind of the big thing, the greatest heel, and all of that. He's done great things for professional wrestling. But my thing is with Hogan, as far as the entire thing. What?
I can hear
What?
you.
What?
I couldn't hear you there.
Oh,
You broke up.
I don't know. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, can you hear me now though?
Yeah.
We're still good. Okay, cool. I don't know. Google Plus being weird, but I think as far as the entire professional wrestling as a sport and entertainment product, Hogan's done more. To me, I feel like even now, well, not necessarily now, but a year ago, you would still say, Hogan. Hogan still has a huge impact. Whereas, you like Hogan's one of those guys you never got annoyed to see. I don't think. Whereas with Flair, like now, it's getting kind of overbearing. Like don't get me wrong, we don't see Hogan all the time, but when he came for his special appearances, it wasn't necessarily like an issue with it. But I don't know. That's kind of my thought. You can rebuttal if you need to.
I have a rebuttal. How many guys? How many factions? How many guys? How many talent? How much talent has Ric Flair built up? And then look how much has Hogan built up? I mean, Flair was in the Four Horsemen, Evolution, Legacy, or he basically was the start of Legacy, because that was kind of a spinoff of whatever I just said before. Can't think of it. Even going over to TNA, Fortune, he's built up so many guys in multiple companies, not just TNA and WWE, WCW. He's gone to indie shows and built up guys at indie shows. I just think for the business, he's done more as a whole. I'll say for the entertainment side, yes, Hogan's done more.
So my kind of, I guess, final question for this. Would you say that which one's a bigger draw to you? Which one do you think? Because they're both huge draws. If you say Ric Flair is going to be at it, like I went to a show, an indie show last year, and Ric Flair was there, and I was excited to go. But same, maybe not necessarily right now at this moment, but let's just say a year ago. If they said Hogan's gonna be at this indie show coming near you, or Flair's gonna be, like, which one, kind of like who's the bigger draw to you?
To me, Ric Flair, because I know Hogan's not going to put anybody over.
Alrighty. I think my opinion on that. I feel like I think honestly I think it's I still think it's Hogan. I'm not gonna waver on my point. I think Hogan's the bigger draw, I think even though and you know Hogan was like Hogan, I feel like Hogan gets bigger pops, even though Hogan has always been a face to a certain degree, and even when he was a heel, he was still kind of a tweener face.
I,
Um,
but I think it's so hard to really say which one it truly is better. It's kind of like these are completely, you know, different generations, but you know, it's kind of this similar to who's better, LeBron or Michael Jordan. I think in a way
yeah, I agree.
they're equal, you know, in different ways. I
And
mean,
that's exactly why we have this new segment on the show
if
because it's so hard to debate these things.
if if there was an indie show with you know, if there was, you know, one indie show here and one indie show here with both of these guys, I obviously, if they were close enough and I had the money, I'd want to go to both, just because I mean, it at the end of the day, it is Ric Flair and it is Hulk Hogan. Um, I would want to go to both just as, you know, say I was there, you know. But
Oh, yeah. I think that was a good debate. I think it was good. I think we need to include this in the everything. If you see any debates, anyone if you comment a debate, I guess we refer to the comments first. But if there's a debate you want us to look at, you know, let us know. You know, versus Hogan, please. But we will, I guess. But I just feel like that would be the first one someone would comment. But alrighty, so that is your weekend review show, Pro Wrestling's weekend review. I don't know. We're gonna come up with a name, and you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, I love it." Maybe I don't know. I don't know if you're gonna be like that or not. You know, I don't. But I definitely enjoyed the new debate segment. I thought it was fun. But if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And you know, be sure to give us a like, share the video on any platforms that you may be able to share it on, and we'll see you guys for WrestleMania 25. I think is the next video. 24. It's 24. I can't remember. It's 24. It's 24.
I don't know. It's the one
WrestleMania.
that we're apparently going to do tonight.
We're supposed to do WrestleMania 24 tonight, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if one particular person who likes doing them will show up. But we will see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoy. Peace.